There is a lot of audience participation in this, mostly clapping, so if you could join in, please, that would be great. Okay? It's a play. Could you stand on the mark, please, for the camera, because we're recording this for people that aren't here, quite a few of them, unfortunately. It's a play in about 4 acts. The first one is tragedy and drama. Okay? This is truly a sad day for, I believe, everybody in the room. Sexit, as we're calling Stuart's decision to leave the European Union, has resulted in severe consequences for everybody he's left behind, and that's everybody here. Motivation is 50% lower. Our place in the world of Kaz is seriously undermined. Uncertainty reigns. Our youth, and that's Ayaz and Urim, who's not here, sorry the other guys, but they feel they have no future. The protests may have died down, but the resentment still remains. We're living in a less open and tolerant society. So Stuart, would you wear your t-shirt with pride? Thank you. Thank you. Funny aside, when we first got these out of the box, when we ordered them, it said, with Stuart's lovely face, say no to sex. And I thought, that's really funny, isn't it? But now it gets better, because then the next one we opened said, say no to sexy, which is even better, even better. So on a more lighter note, when you start doing these things, the first thing you do is you look at a person's sort of achievements and what they've really done for us and everything. And so I started the little list of those things, and it started off with developing and launching the change management process and system 3 times. I think that's the count at the moment. Smooth running of the DR weekends. Fire marshal activities, which are really good. Flooding event supervisor, which is really good as well. Release management for the guide wire process and getting that up and running and everything. Handling the CMDB and all those sort of things there. But we appreciate Stuart for a lot more than that. In fact, we love Stuart for a lot more than that, if I'm reading the lines here. Stuart's energy, sense of humour and way about him is a joy to work with. And I think that deserves a round of applause. There's a lot of clapping in this, by the way. He genuinely makes this a better place to work. He can be relied upon to do the right thing for the right reasons. Once Stuart picks something up, you no longer have to worry about it. He is so reliable and absolutely fantastic. So for me personally, this feels like I'm losing my second favourite organ. But it's not all been good. Over the years, some of Stuart's darker sides have come to light. First one, late night thieving with Paul Abedesso. Now, I don't know if people know this, because the infrastructure people, there aren't so many of them now. But every night you go out thieving for ashtrays, glasses and things like this. Remember that, because that's going to be important a little bit later. Second part of his dark side is authority issues with Fic Audit, which normally results in very bad language. It's atrocious, really. Gin and tonic and tea dependencies. Reluctance to engage with the Excel Catlin clear desk policy. Now that's quite serious. Sleeping in the basement. That had to get mentioned. Okay. I could go on, but by far the most serious, and Malcolm, you'll appreciate this one. David Joyce once phoned me up and he said, could I stop Stuart from being mean to him? And he was really quite upset. You know, Stuart always being mean to me and all this. And being able to upset somebody as thick-skinned as Mr. Joyce, who will not see that video right, is quite an achievement. And I think that gets a round of applause as well. And what about his dress sense? Fantastic. I don't know. I don't know if people are aware, but over the last 6 months, I've been buying bits of Stuart's clothing, sort of individually. And individually, I mean, they're great, aren't they? That lovely jacket I got and a few other things. So individually, they're fantastic, but I'm bringing them all together as a fancy dress costume in September, because once you combine them together, they really make it. Before I move on to the gifts and the big thank you and everything, and this is the emotional part of the performance, is by a really sort of sad twist of fate, I met Stuart's new boss at a social event a few weeks ago. And I went home and I reflected after a few drinks on what it really meant to me, and it felt like handing over a damaged child from a painful divorce to a new evil stepfather in some, no it's worse, in some northern car park. It's dreadful. So anyway, we've got a few gifts to go through and everything, but before that, just want to thank Stuart for all his efforts and everything he brings to the company. It's a real sad miss. We've got tissues down there for the ladies a bit later. It's been a real pleasure. We've really had a great time, and it's going to be hug time, I'm afraid. These gifts, they mark the end of what we've called Project Judas. If people are unfamiliar with the character, it's not good. It's not good. So anyway, the first thing we've done is we've decided to rename this meeting area in honour of Stuart. So this will now officially be called Stuart Pavey. So Stuart, would you unveil the plaque, please? Okay. Okay, here we are. It marks Stuart's time with us, and it says change and release, and CMDB, and BCP, and DR manager, and gin and tonic SME. Live there, and I think the date is hopefully correct. You know, we talked about Paul and Stuart's thieving that goes on. Now, could I have one of the ladies to model the thieving coat that we've generated? Gemma? Okay, we've actually had made by Paul Smith, that well-known designer, what we're calling a klepto coat. Here we are. Okay.
Actually, it looks better than what you were wearing.
Okay. Now, Gemma, would you mind showing the inside? Okay, these are Paul Smith designed klepto pockets. If you to start collecting ashtrays, glasses. There's even a big one for the drinking bottles that we have stolen together. But yeah, so that's yours to keep and to wear tonight. So
Thank you.
along with the t-shirt and everything. Things wouldn't be complete without a priceless work of art being involved. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I've actually no, I don't want any comments from people that are less sophisticated in the art world. Malcolm. So I've painted Stuart a priceless piece of art. And open it up, and this is called.
Piss out of your painting.
This is called. This is called. I think it might be upside down actually. It's called Treason. Open brackets. I can hear your voice off. Okay, so that's yours to keep. Okay, the next one is. Oh yes. In order to help you out in your new job, this is a XL Catlin Clear Desk Policy brochure that you can take with you over there. We've had a. Oh, I forgot this one, didn't I? I was feeling a bit thirsty a bit easier, so we've got you a little note, and we had a little bit of a collection in there as well. Okay, you've got your t-shirt on. What are the other things?
What other shit have we got in?
Right, okay, we've got your card and we've got some vouchers. Okay, first one is a day with Top Gear host Chris Evans at the Top Gear track. This one is for a few people who appreciate it. A singing lesson with Casey Wilde. Okay, and there is a genuine driving day with supercars and things like that in there, and a hell of a lot of money. I have to say, and I think that's true, this has been the biggest collection I think I've certainly ever seen and everything like that, and I think that shows everyone's appreciation and love for Stuart. There are some other things as well. We've had another collection, but they didn't get the idea that it was for money, so there's a few sort of mementos from the office in there as well. There's some tea bags as well in the bottom. So anyway, we've got the card. Here we are, it's the card. Okay.
Thank you.
So I just want to go through because there's so many things, isn't there? I think that's it. And a round of applause. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you very much. A little bit overawed by all this now, to be honest, but yeah, nice. So, well, it's been 7 years, and it's been a really, really exciting time. Obviously, the organisation has changed hugely since I've been here from over when we was at Minster Court, and I just thought, wow, I'm just a little bit lost for words actually. There's probably a load of people I need to thank. I suppose if I start in order, Newsom, wherever you are, it's your fault. He brought me in 7 years ago, so thank you very much for that. And then obviously, one of my best bosses I've ever had, Clive.
One of.
One of them. Yeah, don't push it. Yeah, so thank you very much. I am genuinely actually speechless about this, to be honest. So yeah, thank you.
We'll be back.
So if you could clear your desk up, that would be really good. Anyway, thanks guys.
Thank you.
I think it's a cut.
Thank you.